intergenerational. And the idea is to bring more young voices into the Foresight Futures conversation. We have the Hungarian hub here. I see Tamás, Ildiko, Elga, Bernadette. Hello. And of course, they are all amazing futurists. We have 2 youth participating, Dia, Loka, and Sahiti Radha. Yes, hope they are there.
Well, I just exchanged some mail with Dia, who just asked 5 minutes ago that, am I right that we will start in 45 minutes?
Okay.
I think they are running in a different time zone, which is half an hour shift they have. So I just replied that, no, please come in 5 minutes we start. So hopefully they will show up in some minutes. Right.
Perfect. No problem. This always happens in the World Futures Day. There are so many time zones. It's really difficult but it's good that whenever people want to connect to the session, we are here. I'm going to also remind the YouTube link if you want to share it on your social media. If people don't want to register at this point, but wants to follow the conversation, here is the link. And now that we have 2 minutes, maybe we can have an informal chat these 2 minutes. And Elga, Bernadette, Ildiko, Tomás, how are you? How are things on your side?
Hi, thank you for having us. How was the day so far?
So the day so far? Wow, I was telling Scott before. So I just joined for the 2 previous sessions. The one on quantum, that it was mind blowing, and the other one from St. Peter School in Barcelona. And from St. Peter School, we had some students sharing their work, what they are learning about future thinking, what they are excited about the future, why they think it's important to learn this in the schools. And it was really, really inspiring to listen from their voice, like it's not us trying to convince them that it's important. It was they explaining why it is important, and how they are sharing this with their parents, with their grandparents. So really, I'm telling you, I have this smile all morning on my face.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, now we are in the top of the hour. I would like to formally welcome everybody to the World Futures Day Young Voices. We are having 24-hour conversations, intergenerational, about the future. And our idea is to bring more voices, more young voices, to talk about the future. For the ones that don't know Teach the Future, we are a global nonprofit, and we are trying to introduce futures thinking, futures literacy in the school curriculum in schools, so we don't need to wait until we are adults to learn about these skills. Just without further ado, please, you can, Tomás, Helga, Ildiko, Bernadette, introduce yourself and your session, and we'll put some information in the chat as well. Thank you for being here.
Okay, thank you very much. Right. We also warmly welcome all of you all over the world. And hopefully, Dia and Sahiti from India, the young voices, the real young voices will join us soon in some minutes. And from our side, we are from Hungary. We are representing the Hungarian hub. Helga, Bernadette, Ildiko, and me, who are basically teachers, researchers, and practitioners, but let's say quite young, at least in heart, right? So we would like to, we try to join, right, this stream. The title of our session is Playing is Not a Plaything. And of course, the question really comes that why to take it so seriously? Why to take gaming or the play so seriously? Well, to answer that, I think we have to travel now to the 2050, right, to the future, and to see back why it was so important this time of the year. So, Ildi, may I ask you to share, or I don't know who has the video? Yeah, Helga, sorry. Oh, Dia is with us, right? Okay. Hi, Dia. Sahiti is also coming?
Hi, how are you? No, she won't be able to join us. I'm sorry.
Okay. We just started now, and I just mentioned the problems of the time zones. Okay, but now we are back. So with the problem that why to take so seriously, right? Gaming or play, and this video will answer that. Hi there, everybody's fine?
Yes, thanks. Give me a minute. I'm preparing something delicious. You all will be jealous, I can tell you.
Haha, what? Trees and woods or something?
Oh, I wish I was there. Hi there, everybody.
Hi, Helga. How are things in Amsterdam?
I show you. Nothing changes but the sea level.
Oh. Well, Budapest is not better either. We have become a desert. You know, we lost the iconic river Danube. Everything is dry, just stones and sand.
Such a shame. And also that we cannot hug each other, even though apart from Haga we are in the same city.
Yes, again, it's the UV radiation. When they said on the news that it is strictly forbidden to go outside by daytime for another month, I cannot tell you how I felt. We have robots, we have AI, we have gene technology, we have socials, we have everything, but we have lost the planet itself.
The world has become a prison, and sure, some people have the protection suits, but most of us cannot afford it.
At least we are alive. Not many of us survive, but it's easy for me to be optimistic. Look what I have.
Oh, what? No!
Oh,
I just simply cannot believe it.
You don't need to know everything, but it's real nice coffee for the meeting, just like in the ancient times.
ancient times. Huh. It was like 2.5 decades ago.
Oh, if you had the chance to go back to the past and change decisions?
Okay, so let's say we have the time machine, right? What message would you give to yourself and to the humankind in those times when Amsterdam was on the beach and not in the ocean, and when Budapest had continental climate, and when we all had the chance to drink tea and coffee during meetings?
Fix the climate.
No matter how.
Right message, I agree. So let's get back to work. So here we are back to work, okay, from the future at the moment. And it turns out that, well, it's not really the future we expected or we wanted in 2024. But which is the real better future we wish to have? We would like to make it in an interactive way, and I pass now the word to Ildi, right? Some warming up in this field.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Are you ready for a small game to play with us? Yes?
Right.
Okay, because I would like to invite you to a game. In the short video, we traveled to 2050 with a time machine. So this game is called the time machine. Now it's your turn to travel. First, your first task is to select the year where you would like to travel in time, across the time. Which year would you like to go when you would feel playful, when you would feel safe about the climate, safe about the environment. You can arrive in the past and in the present too. So you can select any year in the past and in the future too. But you won't leave your location. Okay, so we travel in time, but not across places. And now I will show you a Padlet. This is a board, and I would like to ask you to type your name and the selected year and create cards on this board. So please open this Padlet. I will do that also. I will share my screen. And now the first task is to type your name and type the selected year. And then we will discuss, of course, a little bit. Okay, I can see already one card. Very good sign. Ah, I see people are ready to play with us. Very good, thank you. I will wait a little bit more.
Curious to know yours. Also, where do you want to travel?
Oh, okay.
When do you want to travel?
Okay, I will tell you. I can also write it over there.
And for the one that don't know how to use it, is you click on the
yes,
plus.
so here you can see instructions also on the board. So you have to press the plus button in the right corner. Hopefully you can see that, because, for example, for me, people over here who are in the Zoom meeting are placed over there, but you can rearrange your screen and then you can have access to this plus sign. So you press the button and then you can initiate a new card and you can type whatever you want. So it would be also nice to place the location where you are on the card, probably, because we are from all over the world and we could see where you are. For example, Julia is from Barcelona. Thank you very much. ELC is from Amsterdam. Okay, now let's talk about the cards. So ELS from Amsterdam, you selected 1743. So you selected a year in the past. Could you tell us why did you select that certain year?
Sorry, I'm just eating also, so
It's okay.
I selected in the past because I thought we are here with all future-minded people, and everybody would probably pick a date in the future. So I thought maybe go back to the past, and also because Amsterdam was back then, I think, a very vibrant city with people coming over from all over the world, and having kind of a renaissance. So yeah, I would think it might be interesting.
Okay, thank you. What about Lourdes from Madrid? 3024. Why?
Yeah, I'm here as well. So I am really curious about all the space economy that it's blooming again. So I'm thinking, okay, if we really travel further in time, maybe we are already like having interplanetary trips. And I was imagining like no Madrid, but really outer space futures.
Thank you. And one more, Scott from Malaysia, 2089. It's not that far away from now, but still further than 2050. Why did you select that certain year?
It's 100 years after I was born, so I'd just like to see what changes. And also, I think around turns of the century, people get really anxious about time and history and the future. So that as well.
Thank you very much. We will come back to this board a little bit later on, but now I will pass the word back to Tamás.
Okay, thank you, Ildi. Right, it's wonderful to see on the one hand that a playful future could have already happened in the past, right, in the 18th century. And it's also wonderful that, well, this future is quite far from now, well, which is not that wonderful anyway. But anyway, I hope that it is really the year what you posted and not your postcode or postal code, right? Finally. But the point is that if we want this better future demands future skills building right now, and possibly at early age, right, which is regularly very sensitive to changes and to development. And now what I would like to share with you, yes, in the screen, is basically an idea, right? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is our team. Is basically a short report about some experience with small children and how future literacy can be built with small children. And we have some experience on that with my colleague, Bori Katona, who is actually, unfortunately, not present. She is ill, but in heart, she's with us. So we are running a program for more than 15 years as pedagogues for small children in future skills building. But in short, it is basically a mind and heart opening program, as we call it, a spirit to spirit program. And if I want to sum it up, basically what is interesting that we don't make a direct future practice with small children, right? What for several reasons, among them that they live in the very present, which is anyway quite rich in futures, in different futures. And they have very restricted sense of time. So, talking about 1 year or 50 years has no sense for children, even if you say that your next birthday. So we made a kind of indirect way to do so. And this indirect way uses activities, okay, which are very, very close to this skill building, because singing, drawing, and moving are all activities which link the two sides of the brain from different points of view. So even these three are quite useful tools for skill building. But of course, what is even more interesting, linking these activities. So it's quite, fascinating. Drawing with singing, or singing with moving, or moving with drawing, or moving on drawing, or so several combinations there are, which make it even richful. However, this is only a part of that. What is the really heart of the whole program, and where we call them poem drawing songs. Let me say, I will show you some examples. Is really different. Of course, mathematically, this center doesn't exist because you cannot sing, draw, and move at the same time. However, these skills, what they create, you can put or you can press into certain activities. And let me show you anyway how. Another part of this program is basically that since they don't have time sense, we shift the time perspective into space perspective. So we put the whole program into a framework of fairy tales, which is quite far, right, from the present at the same time. However, it is imaginary for small children and quite easy to move in these different worlds of the small children. For example, this is one in the pandemic period, which we make in the Facebook Live, right? About at the end of the winter, one of the programs. Now, in these programs, anyway, we have different ones, quite different ones, even for each week of the whole year, and some special occasions, such as the World Day of Autism, or the Down syndrome. So we made programs for the Down syndrome children, or even for the water, the World Day of Water, Day of the Earth, Mother's Day, or the pandemic period. We have programs, and we make an application in drawing and things like that. Right. Now, I would like to ask you, okay, to help me and just to show where we are. As I cannot see all of you, sorry, on the screen, so just interrupt me and just shout, let me say. Okay, the question is very simple. What can you see on the screen, right? So let's just identify it. Can you just help me? Right. I'm not sure if you see it. What is on the screen?
I see white.
Square.
Yes, a square. Excellent, excellent. Now, I put my magic glasses, okay, on, and I say that, no, I cannot see a square. I can see a chimney from the top, right? Which is quite clean inside. So I would like all of you, right, to take the magic glasses on you. No, I'm serious, okay? Please take it. So don't just imagine it. Take it and put it on, okay? Put it on, the glasses. And now tell me, what can you see? What you can see?
A window.
A window. Excellent. Okay, a quite big window. And right. Okay, what else? Make clear the glasses, right?
Box.
All right. Okay, excellent. Okay. What if I put another one next to it? What is it?
An open book. It's an open book.
Okay, a wonderful open book, and still like a diary, right? And it needs to, it wants you to write something in it. So it's a really open book. What else?
It's a domino.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
It's a domino.
A domino, right. Either it is the back of the domino, or somehow the spots disappear from the domino, but it's a domino, right? Excellent. Okay, what if I put two more?
Rail tracks.
A sequence of houses.
All right, sequences houses, right, a ray track. Okay, what else?
We have some comments on the chat that said train, a map unfolded, ladder.
Or a ladder, right. Okay, wonderful. And what if I put one on the top? What's
Tetris.
that?
The Tetris.
Yes, it can be a typical Tetris. I think it's right, a good humor, but depending on the age, you know, not everybody understands that. Right, a Tetris. What else?
Oh, just realized. A factory.
Okay, yes, a typical factory, right, from the 1960s or 70s, okay. Or from the early 20s, okay, a factory. Yeah, somebody says a toothbrush. Oh, wonderful, yeah. What if I add...
Or a cubist sofa.
Ah, yes,
Also from
sofa,
the
right,
chat,
excellent, a
cubist
sofa.
A pipe, a playground to climb.
Okay. And what else? Okay, we have quite so many. I think it seems that the magic glass really works. And when we play it with the children, something like that, it's very important that, yes, actually we put the glasses on. So not just, think about it. And like in your case, it opens up children quite soon. Because the starting point of the whole thinking, the whole issue concerning thinking about the future is opening the mind and having a special sight, right, on reality. And this kind of game or introduction helps a lot opening up this game. And even if I go on with saying that, 4 squares and 2 more squares, and maybe I can put half more next to it, right? 4 kocka meg 2 kocka. Maybe it is a castle. Mi épül itt várocska, rajzolok még egy felet. A half more. and 2 more circles, which are hozzá kördő kereket, 2 more tires, rajzolok még egy felet, és hozzá pörgő kereket. So basically we created, right, a car, from that, and you can start playing with the car itself, right, with the children. Now, this is a starting part and the sense, and let me show you some foundations and some pillars how this future skill building works with small children. Well, in terms of the foundations, one and very important rule that it's a collective knowledge creation exercise, which means that we always do at the exercise it with sharing these exercises together. Either it is a movement, so sharing movements, sharing songs, or sharing even drawings. As you can see here on the picture, regularly children are on the floor, so we don't sit on chairs and tables. What we are just laying on the floor and making, in the end, drawings together on the same piece of paper, so they have to cooperate somehow, which is not easy for small children at all. They are not at that age at all when they have to share it. But it works. So this is one thing. The other one, which is very important, that it is experimental, which means that we are of the opinion, and we are sure that that experiencing the novel is the real new information or the possibility to create futures. For example, last in the World Conference of the WFSF, we made a game with Fabienne, and even among experts, futurists, it turned out that experiencing the novelty, experiencing the very strange future is not taken for granted. It's not common sense at all. So it's very important, the experience. However, it is not easy to do so. There are some conditions, to prepare these frameworks and this environment. And one of the most important one is trust. Simply because the journey to the unknown, what we do in space with the small children, can be very scary, right? Either scary simply with us, since regularly it is, so it is the first time we are with the children, so not regularly with the same group. It can be simply scary. They can be scary with each other, right, when playing, and scary with the unknown itself. So quite some time we spent on creating the trust within the whole group. Another one is, it's very important, becoming and being tuned. Realizing then experiencing the novel is not taken for granted as well. You should be tuned. You should have an atmosphere, right, and be tuned for there. And we spent quite much time on that. So just to have the same, let's say, level of energy, right, for all the people within the game. And last but not least, a very important condition is the joy. Simply because the unknown has a lot of discomfort, right? So when we make a journey to the unknown, finally, quite many small children can feel discomfort, and we can ease it. We should ease it, and they should take a possibility to release. Okay, in terms of some pillars, so how it is built up, we have some rules and some ideas, for that. One, maybe the most important one, is that so-called mistaking is allowed. Basically what the reason is that we are creating and not reproducing in these games, and I think this is the basis for alternatives. And hence, when small children can feel that they made a kind of mistake, it's quite easy to learn them that no, it's just an alternative what you are making and not a mistake. So we are not reproducing, but creating. Another one is also important as the mistaking is allowed, is empathy or becoming. So which means that becoming, a hedgehog or a ladybird or a tree or simply a ball is the real and only way to understand the being, understand the ladybird, understand the hedgehog, or understand the ball itself, including their attitudes, behavior, or strategic thinking. So what they would do, in certain situations. So, in other words, learning to take another perspective is the basis for empathy. And with small children, with these games, it's quite very, very effective to do so. And the last one, maybe the most important one, or as important as the previous one, is the surprise. You will see that these, let's say, small songs and poems, what we write ourselves, always has a surprise. And the reason is that the becoming itself is always a getting rid of insight. Getting rid of insisting on the expected one. So we try to become open to the unexpected and remain ready for the navigation. And with these songs, when they expect always something to come and that doesn't happen, and something else is emerging from the drawing, it's a very good way of practice for the unexpected. Right, let's make a try, okay? I have an example here for that. There are two things I would like to ask. One, that just use your eyes and not your mind, okay? So don't think in advance what is coming and what is emerging, just let it go. The other thing is that now, may I ask you to close your eyes, because the picture which is coming will show you the final image, okay? I don't want you to see, right? So just close your eyes for a moment, okay? And I just started, and I will tell you. Okay, now you can open your eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear the sound also? No? Oh, yeah. Okay, just a minute. Because I was sharing in the wrong way. Share sound. Yes, that's it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot about it. So here we are. And I go back a bit. Can you hear it now? Yeah, good. Okay. So I will translate the text, right? Summer moon is shining. Just two eyes are blooming. But I'm not a cat. Somebody else is hungry. I have serious mustache, but I haven't become a mouse. My nose never trembled. I wasn't born as a rabbit. I'm strong and bold, but I'm not a bear. Something is winkling, but not the poison snake. I have a crown on my head with a robe of mane. Welcome you. I am the king of királya. Right. Okay, so this is what we do during the fairy tales, right? It's the participants of the fairy tales. And the outcome of many of these exercises are different images, because we are making drawings and images from another world. So not from the future, but it could be from the future. We shift the time to the space from another word. For example, the singing forest. Okay, what we have. And it is from a boy, age 7. And we collected these drawings and it was a kind of application, right? So quite many, 40 different schools participated from Hungary in this game. Or another one, right? Also from the future, or from another planet, let me say so. Okay, the serious question is that, okay, who can benefit from this program? Because I was talking about kindergarten, so nursery school and primary school, small primary school students, about age of 5-10. This is the typical age. However, we have some quite experience from play school as well, which is rather interesting, right? How to adapt these ideas to the play school. We have some experience also from the high primary school. This is a literature lesson when we were working on a novel with building future skills. And yeah, this is the same from that. And recent years, fortunately, we have quite some experience with disabled children. You can see here some pictures from disabled children, and it works wonderful, right? Very, very effectively with disabled children. This is also another one. Some pictures about it when, right. Of course, the movement and the whole structure is quite different in this case. You know, sometimes they couldn't move, so we moved the gate over them, right? So we changed it. Or, for example, here you have this boy who was blind, who couldn't see, couldn't move, and couldn't talk at all. He could just hear, and you can see this is happiness what he has on his face. You know, just participating and hearing, listening to the songs, participating. So the heart-to-heart or the mind and heart opening can very effectively work even with people who are not normally ready for that, right? So it works. It works. It's quite very useful, and we love it when not only children but their educators and the parents are involved also in the program. So when we do it together, I don't know who enjoys it more, children or the educators or the nurses or the parents, right, to do so. And even we tried this program among pensioners, right? And when they realized that going back to the small children age, because we did just the same, like with the small children, right? They realized that they have a part of their self, okay, which they completely forgot, and which is much, much open to the future, to the alternatives, to the changes, and to the specialties, let me say so. Right. Now, so all in all, to finish it up, the point is that creating and creation is wonderful. And what you can see is basically the output of a small project, what we did in a class. And these small pieces were created separately, completely separately. And finally, we just put them together and created a new word, a new future. And we were dancing around it, you know, playing and singing for that, and tried out how this future, this space could work, basically. Right. So thank you very much for this. And last but not least, let me share again another small piece from the drawing songs. So may I ask you to close your eyes again, right? Close your eyes, just not to see what the final image is. And I just start it. Okay, now you can open your eyes, yeah, and see it. A small smile, or a big smile. The skies are happy when they clang. Bim bam bam bum. The smallest smile has a laughing song. This is a joy in the skies. Giling-galang. Ting-galing, ting-galing. Which is the sound of angels. And if you were really with us and you are in silence, you can even hear the big bell and the small bells together at the same time.
Körül az ég a zenka szól, bim bam bom. Angyal hang, angyal hang.
Okay, so thank you a lot for the journey with the small children, right? Far in space, far in time. And of course, we are very much interested in your experience and your ideas, either as an educator or as a parent. But this is just the human side of having a playful future. There are other aspects and other perspectives. And this other perspective, Dia will share with you, right? Dia, I pass the word to you.
Hi, thank you. That was a great presentation. It's so inspiring to see. And yeah, I'm Dia Loka. I'm the youth advocate for this panel, and I'm from Hyderabad in India. So, a little bit about me. I'm a 16-year-old student and I'm an environmentalist. I'm also the founder of eCycle, which is an internationally awarded India-based climate forward initiative focused on solving the e-waste problem step by step. So last year I won as runner-up for the NGFP Young Voices competition by Teach the Future, and I'm so happy to be speaking here right now. I'm going to be circling back to the initial topic right now. I'm going to be talking about the topic, fix climate no matter what, and I'll just be adding to that discussion. Did you remember the scorching summers just a few years ago, or maybe from your childhood? Ever since then, the Earth's average temperature has risen by 1.2 degrees Celsius, and the future holds even hotter realities if we don't act now. Extreme weather events like hurricanes, heat waves will become the new normal. Imagine week-long heat waves pushing through the limits of our now developing infrastructure, threatening lives and livelihoods. Rising sea levels will swallow coastal communities as a whole, erasing familiar places that each one of us have. Nature is the foundation of all life, and it'll be under immense strain. Species that we once took for granted might vanish, disrupting ecosystems and the delicate balance of life. Food security will become a global concern as agricultural yields will be threatened by changing weather patterns. And the very air that we breathe will get thicker with pollution, jeopardizing our health and well-being. When I say all of this, I'm not just looking into prospect. I'm not talking about 2050, but I'm talking about now. This very moment, because the Earth has started to burn up, and we still look at climate change as if it's in a foreign planet. Our planet is at the lowest point at this moment, and the job has been handed on to the youth to solve the climate problem. But wasn't that the case last generation as well? A small change in our daily lives can make a huge difference for our future, whether it's recycling or just advocacy. Addressing this crisis requires collective action, both globally and individually. Climate change demands a spirit of cooperation, supporting sustainable policies, advocating for environmental protection, and even making just small changes in our day-to-day lives can make a huge, significant difference. I'm going to be talking about my contribution to solving the climate issue in India as a high schooler. So my best friend Sahiti, who couldn't join us today, and I had started our initiative, eCycle, in 2021, which is basically an e-waste climate forward initiative. And we started as 14-year-olds who barely knew anything about business. Through a series of calls, we got a call back from who are now our corporate sponsors, and we couldn't have gotten here without them. Basically, what we do is tackle the issue through student-led awareness sessions at schools, campuses, and office spaces. After explaining the perils that e-waste poses, we facilitate a e-waste collection drive, and the waste is then recycled by our recycling partners. The collection drives usually span from 3 weeks to 4 months. Next, our corporate partners handle the collection and the safe recycling of e-waste from our designated locations. This not only helps the local community, but it also helps younger students branch out and volunteer for the solution of climate change. And we have collected thousands of kilograms of e-waste, and so this has made a small change in our local community. Not only have we done this, but we've also educated thousands of students about the perils of e-waste that not many people know of. So we have come really far, and I'm just happy to be making a change in our local community. So the future is not predetermined. The choices that we make today will determine our future in 2050 and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you. I am curious if I can ask a question. Do you have like a website or some social media with the project that we can follow, like latest news?
Yeah, of course. We have a website. I will share it in the chat, and I'll also send our Instagram handle.
Thank you.
Okay, wonderful, Dia. Right, this is even as an experience, it is wonderful, right? At this page, and your contribution is amazing, right? Okay, now you see that we had two different approaches, let me say, to protecting the nature as we started, where we started from. This was the physical part, right, which is very important, protecting the physical nature. And the other side was protecting the human nature, which is also part of the nature. And this is why the Small Children program tries to contribute. So these two go together. And now we open the floor basically to the questions and to the remarks and to your experience, to your own experience, right, as a contribution, either from the physical nature or the human nature point of view. Okay, I'm not sure I see all the screens, so just jump in if you have any remarks or comments.
I would like to ask Dia also, did you know about futures thinking before, or now that you are part of this next generation foresight practitioners, Young Voices Award, this is when you connect your idea with the field of future thinking?
I feel like when I started my organization, we did really think about our future because our main goal was to make an impact, no matter what it may be. If it is a change, then it is a change for the future, right? So I haven't thought about the future as much because for me, it's living in the moment right now and the changes that I can make right now, because that is what will ultimately affect the future, right? So after winning the NGFB Young Voices Award, I definitely started thinking about the future more. I did a lot more research, and it was great to participate in the WFSFF World Futures Conference and many more, because it has opened me up to a lot more opportunities. And yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Dia.
Okay, yes.
Can I ask a question of you?
Yeah, sure.
So with the kids, hi, good afternoon, everyone. What you're doing with the children, do you ever have the opportunity of progressing the same or doing actually the same thing with those children as they move on through their age groups, so you can see comparisons? And I also wonder whether you can recycle back with them and ask them, when you show them what the work they did in 1 year, to say, well, what's your view now on this alternative sort of ideas that you were building? I wonder if you have sort of more of a continuum with them, or whether it's a one-off.
Right. We have basically the programs. The idea of the programs is to share, right? How to do that, and to just to share it with the nurses, with the educators, to continue the program themselves. And many times we ask them, right, how they could proceed. But last year or 2 years ago, right, we had the chance to do this program every month throughout a year, right, for a class. This was a primary school. I think the age was so basically they were the third, fourth, or fourth year, so about 8, 9. This was the age, and it was a wonderful progress. Okay, it was not, of course, quantitatively measured, but we made a discussion with the educators, and what we reported later on back, that the time to time it was much easier for the students on the one hand to open up in the beginning, and the outcome what they created was wider and wider in terms of activities, drawings, and the educators, so the teachers, mentioned that it had a quite good influence on their other subjects. So when learning, writing, mathematics, so in other subjects, simply opening up the brain and the heart was very, very useful for them, which is a very good feedback, right, for us. We also made anyway this program for students at the university, so who will become later on teachers, either in primary schools or in high primary schools. And we tried, or we are planning to extend this program for basically as a training program for future teachers, right? How to involve it in the activities. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Derek. Okay. Helga? Yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah, I have a question for Dia. What was the acceptance of e-cycle from the different age groups, your fellow students and your teachers and parents and other industry members, maybe?
So basically, we try to loop all ages into the solution of the climate problem, right? So basically, our awareness sessions at most international schools are targeted towards middle schoolers or elementary schoolers, and sometimes even pre-primary schoolers, right? Also high schoolers, yes. So we've also given awareness sessions at many universities and colleges to educate them about the climate problem, because it's a little bit shocking how not a lot of people know about e-waste. Many people know what it is, but not many people know about the carcinogens and how we can manage it easily, right? So we just want to make that easier for everyone. And when we do collection drives at residencies, as in like home residencies and also office spaces, we don't usually give awareness sessions, but we do try to spread awareness as much as we can through posters and posts on LinkedIn. Basically, we're trying to target all audiences.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Datti? No?
Thank you. I just want to point out to one very important sentence said by Dia, among many, many important sentences, that yes, there is a certain wave in the globe that the youth will solve the problems we haven't managed to solve about the environment. And I think it is very unfair. And I love the way you approach this topic, saying that this was a situation with my generation as well. And yes, I remember I just went back to the past a little bit, so not to the future, but to the past. And I remembered myself how we tried to advocate about vegetarian diet in my high school. And those times it was really very, very hard to push people into a completely different direction. Here in Hungary, where eating meat is somehow related to being well fed, to say so. So I really amazed that you go on with this, and I really believe in the cooperation of the generations to solving the problems, and really boundaries are really not exist in this topic. So I really appreciate that you do it and you keep going on with this, and I hope we somehow all together will survive, because yes, we have to fix the climate no matter how.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you, Datti. Yeah, Ildi, I think I see your hands, right? Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much. So my question actually connects the two presentations together, because when I saw your presentation, Tamás, I had the feeling that it's so wonderful that we can make people future oriented in any age. And this is really ageless. And it's so important to inspire other people. And then I listened to Dia's wonderful presentation, which is also very inspiring. But my question was immediately, how, Dia, you personally were inspired? So can you recall any moment in your life when you felt that your heart and mind was open for these problems? Because I think it's really wonderful that in such a young age, you started to focus on such a huge problem. Plus, you also started to take actions, which is very, very extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we started this organization around 3 years ago when I was 14 years old, when I was 13, 14 years old. So it was quite a long time ago so I don't personally remember how exactly it started, but I remember that in where we live, there are so many sanitation workers who are also known as the Safai Mitra, who work in the sanitation sector where they facilitate the recycling of e-waste, right? And e-waste contains so many cancer-causing carcinogens, and they end up in landfills and roadsides. And there's so many young children who are underage, child labor, who work in this sector and who work with the carcinogens with their own like bare hands, right? This is a problem that isn't like very well investigated, but it's something that I've observed and even Sahiti has observed.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. And in this case, when we are talking about our takeaways, it's high time. We have a couple of minutes. It's high time to share your takeaways, okay, from these discussions. So I pass back to Ildi, right? You mentioned something that we return. Yeah, with your Padlet.
Yes, so I reshared the Padlet link again in the chat because I can see that there are a lot of people over here, almost 30 people. So probably there are people who haven't seen the beginning of our session. So please go to the Padlet, and if you haven't done so, you can still join our little game, and you can open your very own card over here. So the first task was to write your name and location, and then the year you would like to travel, where you feel comfortable or playful, and where you feel comfortable related to the climate. And now you can see that there are already some people over here who wrote down their year. And now the task is to write your message to the present self. Okay, so what would be your message from that given year? And if you write down these messages, then by the end of this day, actually, we will have a tableau of messages from different years, from different locations to the present. Okay, so the task is the following: write your message to the present self.
From the future to the present?
From that given year,
Yeah.
what you have written over there. So Lourdes, you will write your message
Yeah.
from 3024 Madrid to the current self. And anyone who would like to enjoy the game, just press the plus button in the right corner. You can initiate a new card over there, and you can join the game. Think about what you see in that given year. What are your experiences over there? What kind of technologies you see over there? What is the thing that you observe immediately when you get out of the time machine and you arrive? And then looking around, what would you what would you phrase as a message?
I edit mine, so I think you need to refresh, or I can create a new tag.
You cannot edit. Okay.
Yeah, if I edit, you don't see it, it seems.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Here
Thank you. It's normally, this refreshing automatically, it was just because I used the earlier version. Okay, so ELS from Amsterdam, 1743, so much space. I can see a horizon while walking in the city. Lots more water too. Let's try to not build too much in this city. Wonderful. Lourdes Madrid, 3024. My message from the future: there is nothing out there like the earth. Protect it at all costs. Thank you. Bernadette from 2030. Take the sustainable development goals very seriously. Yes, that's right. Preserve Barcelona's beautiful green areas, water and space. The city will be more livable or livable in the future, and it will be easier to manage some challenges such as heat waves, droughts, and pollution. And preserve all the land around Sagrada Familia. It will be so much beautiful. Yeah, that's also very nice. Helga Amsterdam, every small action matters. Keep it going towards the preferable future. Okay, guys, thank you very much. It's really amazing. Anyone can still edit the Padlet, so it will be working and live till the end of the day. So anyone who would like to add some comments and initiate a new card, please do so. And later on, we will just save the whole board for us, and we will share it with you. I think it's very interesting to see these messages across time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ildi. And so the future is still open. And the only thing what we have to say is really a farewell. It was wonderful to be with you. Thank you on behalf of the whole group. It was wonderful to be with you. Thank you very much for that. And Lori, we pass the word back to you. Right.
Thank you, Tomas. Umar, do you have something to say to Tomas before we close his session?
Yeah, thing is, next session is mine, and I would love that you guys continue. We could have this Padlet and say, I mean, my topic is talking about failure. I said, okay, guys, how would you fail in the future? That'll be wonderful.
Yeah. Let's keep
Thank
it
you very
open.
much. You guys, I mean, you guys have really set it up for me. Wonderful work. Really congratulate you for a great job, guys. Wonderful.
Okay.
And
thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
If you have some time, please join us as well. Yep.
Thank you, Umar. Thank you for your comment and your recommendation to talk about